The mass drawing technique is blocking in the light and shadow shapes of a portrait rather than constructing a portrait like the Loomis method. There is a reason to choose a certain method, but I've deliberately chosen this method because it takes me out of my comfort zone and to prove that it's only a place to start. I mean, there is a reason for different methods besides a different way to draw a portrait. You may feel more comfortable drawing with a very loose and undefined style, and you don't feel constricted by all the rules. If you like doing things this way, you'll be more relaxed. The lines or shape you draw will be more confident, and if you enjoy it, it makes sense you'll produce better work. Whereas I like the control because of the constraints that the Loomis method imposes on the drawing. If I'm starting at an average, then in my mind, I don't have that far to go. So, I've decided to torture myself by doing a mass drawing technique. Okay, this is just my opinion, but I consider a portrait the one type of painting that must be accurate. I really don't see someone saying, "Can you paint a portrait of my wife? I really don't care that it doesn't look like her." You will care. If you don't have the steadiest hand or aren't able to make beautiful sketch lines with perfect placement, then this sculpting like approach is like sneaking up on the likeness with its gradual changes and reevaluation cycle. So when I start the portrait, all I'm doing is putting down a shape of the shadows in a oval. This feels chaotic to me because I'm not measuring anything or checking angles with my pencil. I'm just eyeballing relationships between shapes. And with mass drawing, I know that this will be an iterative process. These first moves I make might be arbitrary depending on how accurate the mass drawing is. I try to start with the most vague, unassuming shape possible, an oval with some basic indications of where the eyes, nose, and mouth go. I'm going to add or subtract from the silhouette just a little bit and evaluate if I'm heading in the right direction, if it's bringing me closer or not to the general shape of the portrait's head. I'll move features up or down, left or right, just a little bit, then reevaluate if I've made it better or worse. The selection of moving tools in digital are a lifesaver. I bounced around quite a bit between silhouette and features, but you can take more of a outside in or inside out approach. You're still evaluating the relationship of shapes rather than placement of lines. This is an incremental process that slowly moves you toward a likeness. It takes time and patience, but you will get there. So I'm going to be checking and rechecking all throughout this. I'm also making use of all the usual methods like image flipping horizontally and vertically in software. When I think I've gotten the placement of the features correct, I'll concentrate more on the shape of the features and other things like narrowing the value range. This is where being a little obsessive or letting the perfectionist in you out can be helpful, just so long as you can cage that animal again once you let it loose. Alright, conclusion is this has been a mass drawing of Daniel Craig, done in grayscale with a hard round brush. I think I would enjoy this process a lot if I didn't suffer from an ever so slight control fixation. Not that artists have issues with control. Sorry. Let me know what you think. I always appreciate your thoughts. Thanks for watching.